2 weeks later, she sort of rings me and said, "Oh, I've got an audition for you for Coronation Street. It's for a boxer."
Welcome everybody to episode 63 of WatchRoss, the one where we're chilling with a Coronation Street villain. Talking of chilling, it was getting way too cold outside for me and Petch. We were going to shoot the intro to this vlog out on the street because it ties into the street we're going to be talking about today. But we're not. We've taken refuge in Lily's. He's got a steaming hot tea, I've got a latte. We're going to tell you about what's going on. In a minute, we are going to be recording a brand new premium podcast for premium members of actonthis.tv. If you're an actor and you're not a member of this website, what are you doing with your life and your career? Get a membership, right? It will change your career. You're going to get access every week to the best acting career advice from the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, execs in TV, okay? Which brings me on to today's guest. He is a Corrie villain, as we alluded to before, Mr. Ryan Clayton from Corrie. He plays Josh Tucker. He's a bit of an evil sod. He's done horrible things to David Platt over the years. He left Corrie, actually, his character left Corrie about a year ago. Took a year out, and now he's back. He's had an explosive comeback onto the cobbles, and he's just been stabbed. His character, not Ryan. At the moment, as we're recording this, we don't know who's done it. There's going to be no spoilers, don't worry, keep on watching. Although when this goes out, actually, it's probably all going to be resolved. We're going to know who's done it. But it's a really, really explosive return. Really interesting job for Ryan. We're going to be talking to him about that, but also loads of other stuff. I really want to talk to him about his drama school training. He went to Alra North, a bit of a different type of drama school, doesn't just focus on theatre, focuses much more on TV and radio and media. I want to talk to him about that. I know he left that drama school without an agent and hustled as well for about a year, getting his own work before he got an agent. There's a lot of actors in that situation right now who you'll be thinking, I get this all the time, Petch, they email me, actors, and they're like, right, I can't get an agent without a job, but I can't get a job without an agent, so I'm stuck. No, you're not. You just need to hustle, take responsibility for your own career. You can get work without an agent. That's exactly what Ryan did. So we're talking to him about that. I want to talk to him about actually landing Corrie, the whole audition process for that. And then what happens to you as an actor and your psychology and your mindset when you are in such a stable job for a year and then you no longer have that job. What that does to you when you leave, whether that affects you, you know, in your mindset and your self-worth, how much pressure is on you to get something bigger and better. And also that brings us on to something that I really want to address, which is the press recently been trying to slate actors for the jobs they do in between jobs. Katie Jarvis, ex-EastEnders actor, was slated by The Star for being a security guard in B&M, and it's bullshit. I hate seeing stuff like that. As actors, we all need jobs that we do in between jobs, right? So I want to address that with Ryan in this podcast, and then also I think we'll talk about that potentially afterwards as a separate thing as well. So there's loads of stuff we're going to be covering here. Anything else I've missed, Petch? We don't know what's going to happen. These are pretty unplanned, these podcasts now, but it's going to be about an hour and a half, hour and 40 minutes of absolute fire. We're going to go up to the apartment now, get set up. Ryan is on his way, and then we'll be back after a few clips of this for a little chat at the end. So until then, this is the Ryan Clayton Podcast.
Ryan Clayton, welcome to the podcast. Welcome to actonthis.tv. Thank you for being here. How are you?
Great, thank you. And yourself?
Very well. We've been to Costa. We've got our supplies. We've spent about 15 quid on coffee, but we're ready to go. Costa, if you want to sponsor us, please will you just throw us some free drinks? Don't want any cash. Just coffee. That's absolutely fine.
Coffee, yeah.
Cheers for being here, mate. Again, another example of, I say to actors all the time, how useful social media is for networking. But, sometimes people want to give it a bad name, slag it off, say, oh, it's so negative and stuff like that. No, it's only negative because of the people you're following.
Yeah.
I reached out to you on Twitter, a week ago. It's like, Ryan, you up for doing a podcast? You're like, yeah. 7 days later, here we are. It's powerful, isn't it? I mean, how like active are you on social? Do you use it for networking as an actor, getting opportunities, casting directors, writers, meeting people?
I mean, to be honest, saying this on Saturday. Most of my Twitter is mainly based around City.
Manchester City.
Yeah. Most of my social media. There's a bit of politics on there. I don't really talk about acting too much because I don't massively use it for acting. I love acting, but then I don't massively use it that much for social media. But of course, anything that I'm doing, I will promote it through that. And then I think it's been nice to see that the response that it does get as well from people, and all the feedback from what we filmed last Monday was all lovely and positive, really. So I just sort of think, do you care? And but then the actual people do. Which is nice. And people people are like to see what you're up to.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've noticed your link on your Twitter is to your Spotlight, and you've also hooked in your agent into your bio as well.
Yeah,
so you do use it, so even if you don't know you're using it.
Yeah, so there's even when you don't realise. But I think it is massive.
It's getting quite explosive on the cobbles at the moment. I was watching last week. Josh Tucker's back.
Yeah,
he's causing mayhem. He's almost been killed already. I mean, I don't know where this is going to go, but I mean, what's it been like for you returning? How long did you, because you left Corrie, when was it?
About a year ago.
Yeah,
so it's worked its way.
12-month break, and now you're back in. What's it been like returning to the show?
It's been great, really. I mean, it's straight in at the deep end. No, going to the Rovers and having a pint, and just having to sit down there, and none of that. It's just like straight in. Here you go, straight in the deep end. It's all kicking off, and that's what we've recently seen on set, on screen.
Yeah. And as we record this, towards the end of October now, you've still got stuff. You don't know exactly what's coming up, do you, in terms of how this is all going to resolve or not resolve?
Yeah, I don't actually. There's a bit more to do, which I can't say as of yet. What that is going to entail and what's going to be happening. But yeah, there are bits to film still.
You trained at Aura.
Yeah.
Tell people a little bit about that, because we have a bit of a debate on these podcasts, don't we, Petch, where we're like, is drama school useful for actors or not, right? Everybody who has got a different point of view. Some people love it. Some people, are like, I wouldn't go back now, or I wouldn't have gone had I known what it was going to be like.
Yeah.
Depending on what career path they wanted to go down. Generally, for people who wanted to get into theatre, they found it more useful. For people who wanted to get in TV. But Aura specialises in kind of like in media, TV, radio, film and stuff. Tell us about the course for people who are like wondering if it's worth it.
Yeah, so I mean, I found my experience at drama school hugely So I did 3 years, and I mean, sometimes it can, it can sort of boil down to 3 years, coming down to what feels like it's just a showcase. And it's like,
tell us about your showcase. This is another thing for those who have not been to drama school. You will not understand the pressures and competition of a showcase where, you and 25 of your year group basically go and perform two pieces.
It's like,
it's a little bit like a battle, isn't it?
It's like Gladiator, isn't it?
Go and basically give, this is so funny, isn't it? Because you are going, right, here is the absolute culmination of 3 years graft. I'm going to put it down into 2 1.5 minute monologues in front of a crowd of industry people. I mean, it's really a bit of an outdated way of doing it, isn't it now? But what was yours like?
Well, I mean, I got the importance because obviously, me and yourself, like training up here, getting London.
It's tough getting anyone outside.
I mean, we were in Wigan, so getting people out over to Wigan was like nearly impossible. So getting anyone over there, I mean, getting anyone from down south, I think you hear about, I think all drama schools are the same, to be honest. I think they're all doing the same courses, very similar courses. I don't think the quality is necessarily better at one drama school in comparison to another. Obviously, certain years are going to get certain great actors, but I think that's mostly down to them coming together and actually working as a year and learning.
I agree.
I think, to be fair, I say that. There's a lot of my year are doing really well at the minute. Bronwyn James is absolutely smashing it. She's done amazing, rightly so. But yeah, going back to the showcase, it can sort of feel like that. Essentially, what you're doing isn't that hard.
Yeah.
Essentially, what you are actually doing. We did duologues, actually. We didn't do monologues.
Oh, okay,
we did a bit of a mix. I mean, monologues, sounds even more
we did
outdated.
2 monologues.
Oh, God, yeah.
It's pointless if you wanted to work in
God,
telly.
monologues, yeah, that's awful. Yeah. But yeah, in terms of that was better because it was duologue. So at least you're acting alongside someone. And in terms of what I was doing, it wasn't really that hard. I mean, it's quite an hard time. My granddad died about a week before, so So that was it was quite a tough time, to be fair. And from that respect, a lot of stress and the stress of it in itself. And then I did 2 very serious pieces. I did Journey's End. 2 war pieces essentially. I did Journey's End, and I did Britannia Weighs Rules, which is modern, set in Blackpool actually. But his mum dies, and a piece about that anyway. She comes back, and he's out in Afghan. His mate's died or something. Anyway, that was a scene. Very
pretty heavy.
Serious. Yeah, pretty serious. Not really a laugh a minute. But yeah, and it didn't really take off as well as I would have liked, to be honest.
Comedy, we say comedy always goes down better at showcases than
auditions. Any time, I'd always recommend, and and I think it does. I think it goes down so well. But
if you are going to drama school, do comedic pieces for your audition pieces.
Oh, I did for the audition piece. Yeah. So that I think
and do it for your showcase. Well. Don't fall into the trap Ryan fell into.
Yeah.
So you did those. They were good, but didn't have the impact you wanted, and so then you left with no. Did you get offers or?
Well, I got offers, and one was from my old agent, another was another Manchester agency, and I don't know, just didn't feel right. I went for the meetings, and the other one being my old agent, I was like, I don't want to feel like I've been in the same position that I was in 3 years ago. So sort of made that decision to go, you know what? No,
I won't sign with any.
No. And when I came out, but then I did Vernon God Little. It was our final play. That was brilliant.
What was that? Vernon
God Little.
God, I've never heard of it. Vernon God Little.
It's a cracking set down south, and I was like, this.
Just muted you there for a second. Sorry about that.
Set down Southern America, not down south in England. It's Southern America. It's a great play. It was absolutely mental. And I got a job off that. So I'd literally finished drama school, and I got a tour of a play called The Box of Tricks.
Oh, off the back of the last
So
play.
I got that job off the back of that.
This is what I mean. There's loads of people who are like, I don't have an agent. I can't get a job without an agent. I can't get an agent without a job. Bullshit. You're lying to yourself. You got jobs there. How many? What was it? Two pretty big plays off your own back, and then
pretty much. Rob came because I box, so. Rob sort of got wind that I took that job from him, and then
who is this guy? Oh, but he's a boxer. I'm looking for a boxer
as well. So he sort of someone recommended me, and came and had a meeting, and then took off the back of that really.
Right.
So a lot of the jobs, I've sort of got around myself really. So it's interesting.
You definitely, if you put the hustle in, you can do it. So you sign with Jane. At what point, where are we at this point now, year-wise? And then I just want to look at how Corrie came about.
Yeah, so the timeline of it all. So I finished in 2000, graduated in 2015, did the Box of Tricks, so that finished in the Christmas time, 2015. Came for a meeting early 2016 with Rob, and then he put it into work, and then I think we started in a read. Oh, this was fantastic, wasn't it? Went straight to a read through over in Dublin, which was like, here's the press, there's me doing my Irish accent.
Top of the morning, I can't do it.
And they're going, really, Rob? So I just was like,
give us a bit of the Dublin. I dare you.
No,
go on.
I'm just a lot of pressure now.
That's all right.
That was more Northern, to be honest.
I think like that, like Roind and Doin and Point.
Doin and that. No. So
literally all I can say.
Yeah, it takes. I have to get an embody Roses. That was the mother.
Oh, okay.
So I toured that, but then so that started essentially in 2016, and then that carried on until about 2017. So
which was the year.
So we
you got Corrie,
and funnily enough, they came to watch Gypsy Queen, and they came to watch Gypsy Queen at Hope Mill. And,
right. So as part of that tour,
they came to watch it. at the end, and it was, you know, it was mad. Like I looked at it, and I'm there. Like Jane sort of finished it. I finished about 2 weeks later. After a mad 2 weeks of personal things in my life.
Right, okay.
Yeah. After finishing that, 2 weeks later, she sort of rings me saying, "Oh, I've got an audition for you for Coronation Street. It's for a boxer who's going to be
got the
coming
boxing
into
theme.
it." And my dad loved that. My dad, most of my jobs have been around boxing.
Well, because this is part of you though. You box, though, yeah.
Yeah.
So this is it.
What you have and your experience in life, it just comes so, and it's so funny because my dad's like, he was just sort of like went to my mum because my mum never wanted me to do it, and like my nan and everything. Like he, you know, my dad boxed, my granddad boxed, like, you know, huge boxing background. And it's funny how much your personal experience and who you are as a person.
I say all the time, every part of your life affects every part of your life. And people don't get it. Actors are like, look, if I'm not in a classroom or at drama school or I'm in a workshop training, I'm not training. I'm like, it's bullshit. You are. You're training every time you're out there, having any human experience or you're developing any other skill that makes you unique. We just had Melissa Johns on, actress. She's got one arm basically for years, hid it from everybody. I used to do it with my eye condition, hid it from everybody, didn't want to talk about it, embarrassed about it. She spent 25 years, as I did, basically just hiding these things about ourselves. And it wasn't until she started talking about it and really embracing it and, like, you know, owning it, shit started happening for her in the industry. I've had a similar experience myself. You don't have to have a disability to make you unique, but you do have to have something, and everyone's got something, but they just might not want to own it. For you, it was the boxing. Going to capitalize on that, something that you're obviously good at, put it into plays, get it out there. You don't know who's going to see it. You don't know what boxing role is going to come up. Bang. I mean, you know,
people get yourself known.
People will be like, what are the chances of a boxing role coming up? Oh, well, you just don't know, do you? It happened for you.
Yeah, that was it. And, you know, I went along to the audition, and
how many people were there, do you know?
Quite a few. It was quite a few. And there's some few, you know, one or two names there who'd, you know, done quite a bit. And
how did that affect you mentally when you walked in?
Oh, well,
Boom! There you go, everybody. So you've just seen a few clips of, I say it every time, but like, there's another mammoth podcast. All of these podcast rats on this now, they're getting like super in depth, Ryan. That was like an hour and 45 minutes of like everything. Is that the first podcast you've done? How was that for you?
So yeah, more or less the first acting podcast that I've done. Yeah, I touched on something that a friend of mine's doing on Instagram at the minute, kind of a Humans of Manchester sort of thing. So that was, but then this was very different. This is very, very acting based. That was more quite hinting at, you know, being a Mancunian, being from Manchester. So yeah, it was different, but enjoyed it. I think we covered quite a lot there.
We did. We are going to cover one thing, though, in a little bit of extra depth now. Something that I want to address, right? And it's something that every actor faces in their life, and it's something that I see people getting shit for. And just last week, as we record this, or the week before, it kind of hit the papers. It caused a bit of an uproar on social media amongst the acting community, because Katie Jarvis, an ex-EastEnders actress, was been seen working as a security guard in B&M, right, earning a living to support her children, right. Absolutely the right thing to do. Massive respect to her. This is something that all actors have to do. They have to have a between jobs job, because no one, 90% anyway, are not in employment all the time. And I want to take that stigma away from anybody who's watching this now and is not working and doesn't feel enough because you have to work in a restaurant or B&M or wherever you are, a call centre, a shop, a bar, whatever it is. I had to work in a toy shop for 11 years, worked in the computer game shop, shout out to you people, before I kind of like got out of there. But yeah, people think, Ryan, right, you'll go, you're on Corrie, that's it, you must never have to get a job again. We touched on the jobs that you do in between jobs, and recently an in-between job has just gone away. Just tell people about it, so like people realise this is normal.
Yeah, that's it. I think people do just assume that like I'm suddenly some sort of millionaire. Like I actually got a bleed sick on Twitter the other day. I didn't, however, wake up to £1 million in my bank. Like it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't make any difference. Like, still got to do those things. And unless you are, there are quite a lot of people who are from very fortunate backgrounds in this acting world. More and more so these days, because it's getting harder and harder for working class actors out there. People who come from normal backgrounds, and we are seeing an increase of that. But for those of us who are like, yeah, it's just every part of day life, you know. And like, how rude is it as well for that paper to comment on cases, like, because what about people who are doing that job who aren't actors?
Tell some people, what have your jobs been?
So yeah, I mean, I've had quite a lot of different jobs over the years. I used to work at the MEN for years. I'm doing medical role plays. I did work at a call centre, which is now unfortunately closing. So yeah, it's just about, I've done a few teaching jobs. Actually, yeah, I used to do supply teaching and TAing, which was good fun. Working with a lot of, like, kids who with difficult behaviour problems, and that was good fun, to be fair. Yeah. I actually enjoyed it. I actually did take a lot from that, and that's it. From the clip that that we've seen, what Sam Neill is.
I don't know if I put it in yet. I don't think I put it in. I'm going to put a clip in now of Sam Neill, well prompted.
I think being a performer is a tough gig. Everyone gets rejected. You're always getting rejected, and that's really tough. Look, I'm not an expert on depression. I wish I knew more about it. But I think working actually kind of, if you're subject to depression, you're actually working on something that's enjoyable. It's sort of, the darkness goes away. But if you're not getting a job, that darkness can close in on you. And I have had a few periods in my life where I'm not working and I feel that darkness closing. When I did get a job, I thought, how did I get that job? When are people going to find out that I can't actually act? Do they know that I'm not trained? Can they tell that I'm utterly terrified in the read-through? Can they tell this? If you think of yourself as an actor or a dancer or a singer, and you're not singing and you're not acting or you're not dancing, what are you? Most people are between jobs. What are you between jobs? And if you think of yourself as an actor and you're not actually acting, you're kind of no one. This is how it's possible to see yourself, and the way out of that is to actually separate yourself from your profession. That's what I do, that's not what I am. I do acting, but I'm not an actor. I don't think of myself as an actor, actually.
Sam Neill's in Jurassic Park. He's incredible baddie in Peaky Blinders. He's had a great body of work. Recently, there's that film on Netflix which is in, which I need to watch. It's set in New Zealand. I can't remember the name of it. But again, a great body of work. And he himself is talking about when you're away from work. And, being on set recently, again, I did have that moment where I was like, oh yeah, no, this is what I am supposed to be doing. Yeah, this feels right. It's the feeling that I get from acting is a wonderful feeling that almost, cannot, it feels right. When someone does feel like they are good at something, it feels brilliant, and it's sort of a thing that can't be replicated. But there are other things that you can do out there. If you want to give yourself a break. Don't feel like you have to constantly slave and feel like if it's making you miserable, do something else for a bit. Like if you want to take a break, or even if you aren't working as an actor, you're just trying to provide for yourself. And if you want to go away for go on holiday, like last year, managed to go away to Thailand. It was an incredible life. There was so much I took from that, and like that, it all adds to being an actor as well. Yeah. Life experience, like we hinted on it in the podcast. My experience as a boxer, boxing, not a professional boxer. I wasn't that good. God. yeah. We should rein that in a bit. I did use my face as my guard at times. Yeah, which are probably why the reason I had to give it a miss. I don't fight anymore, but yeah, just like I say, just give yourself a break, because we're not most of us aren't from these ridiculously lucky backgrounds, are we?
Why? Boom! It's why I put the Euro Millions on every single week. But yeah, no, I think you're right. Okay, I think like people need to stop getting their identity wrapped up in the fact that they're an actor, thus they should be acting all the time. If you are experiencing life, you're becoming a better actor because every part of your life affects every part of your life. If you're having emotional experiences, good, bad, indifferent, in all areas of your life, you are becoming a better actor. So if you are doing a job right now that you don't necessarily want to be in for the rest of your life, use it. Take what you can from it. To actually add to your acting career and your emotional connections with the world and your emotional access to things that are going on at that job. So yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. And I think what Sam Neill said is really interesting. He is not an actor; he does acting. But it means that when he is not, he is not acting. It doesn't mean that he, is any less of a person. So yeah, that's that for this week. Go and check out the full interview on actsonthis.tv. If you're an actor and you're not a member, you're just doing yourself a huge disservice. There's some incredible content on there now. Over 200 hours of interviews, podcasts, videos, live broadcasts, Q&As with some of the biggest actors, agents, casting directors, writers, producers, and execs in this industry. Social media is up on screen right now. Tweet us. No, don't tweet. Yeah, tweet us. But I think I put Instagram up on the screen right now. Hit us up in your Instagram stories. So professional. On Instagram, let us know you have seen this. Hey, are you doing that? It's somewhere around here. Make sure you tell your friends, bring them along to the party, and we will be back next week with another incredible vlog and podcast for actsonthis.tv with someone who I have no idea who it is yet. But until then, Ryan, if you remember the catchphrase, oh, he's got it. You know what time it is. If you get this right first time, it'll be brilliant because no guests do. You know what time it is. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time in 3, 2, 1. Bye for now. Thank you so much for watching this episode. It really would mean the world to me if you would leave a comment telling me what you enjoyed and what you would like to see more of next time. If you want to catch more episodes, head over to facebook.com/WatchRoss or youtube.com/WatchRoss. Make sure you subscribe and turn your notifications on. I'll be back real soon. Bye for now. Freezing cold, so we've come to take salvage. Salvage? Is that a word? Refuge. Say refuge. So we've come and take refuge. Salvage? We've come and say, I don't know, salvage my soul. Yeah, start again.